What's up, boys? Frank here from the Pickle Fantasy Football Podcast. Coming to you on this beautiful August 11th. It's a Thursday. You know what that means? The preseason games finally got fucking started since that goddamn Hall of Fame game didn't fucking happen. But it's cool. Football's coming. Only about 3 weeks out now. Really starting to get the fantasy football butterflies. But what I got for you today is a little short. My top 5 busts for 2016. These are the guys I fucking hate and will not draft in any league. I promise you. First guy we got here, Devonta Freeman. 2015, this guy did just over 1,000 yards rushing, 11 TDs, 4 yards per carry. He also caught 73 fucking passes. I can't believe he caught that many. That was absurd when I read that. Almost 600 receiving yards and an additional 3 receiving touchdowns. That's Jamal Charles-esque. That's fucking absurd. But you go back and look at it, and you realize that actually happened, the vast majority of that, in about 4 games. And it was all early in the season. Maybe more like 6, but very early. Things evened out a good bit after that. And don't get me wrong, Devonta Freeman's a great running back. I love him and all, but they love Tevin Coleman. It's who the coaching staff drafted, and this is going to be an RB by committee. What you should expect for Devonta in 2016, I think, is more like 600 rushing yards, 3 or 4 TDs, another 50 catches for about 400 yards, and another 2 or 3 catches, TDs in the receiving department. But, I wouldn't expect a lot of this guy. He's going towards the back end of the second round, middle of the second round sometimes. Just know this is a guy who's probably his ADP will ultimately justify him going more like 6th or 7th round when it comes down to it. But, yeah, not too hot on old Devonta this year. My number 2 guy I got is another guy that just people fucking love, old Jordan Reed. In 2015, the guy caught 87 balls for 950 yards and a whopping 11 TDs. Pretty fucking awesome. The problem I have with the guy is this will be his 4th season in the NFL, and he's still never played a full season. He's a very injury-prone sort of guy. He did 9 games his rookie year, 11 his sophomore year, 14 last year. So it is improving in that sense, but he's still a guy that always has nagging injuries, and that worries me. In addition to that, is Kirk Cousins really the quarterback that can continue to give him those sort of passes that he needs in order to have the fucking awesome fantasy stats? I don't know. We'll see. They franchise tagged him. It's not a complete commitment, but of course that means he's getting a lot of money. But that'll remain to be seen. I just think there's too many questionables, and for the price he's going at, you're looking at 3rd round, maybe 4th round. He's starting to really jump. Early 4th round at the latest, I'd say, from the recent mock drafts I've been doing. But nonetheless, I expect him to regress. Plus, there's also Josh Doxson coming into town, and he's a guy they drafted in the 1st round, and expect to see him, to get a lot of balls this year. My 3rd guy I got on here is old Julian Edelman, the 4th greatest Jew to ever touch a football. Yes. In 2015, he did 61 catches for 700 yards and 7 TDs. It's pretty good. He got injured. That was the problem. He didn't play a full season. The reasons why I don't like him, first off, he's 31. Second off, Chris Hogan's now in town, and I've mentioned this before. Wes Welker, the Patriots were perfectly willing to shake hand him when the time came and let Edelman start to play his role, and they're going to do the same to fucking Julian Edelman. I mean, it's a guarantee. It's just, when is it going to happen? So, I'm not hot on the guy. There's also the fact that Tom Brady is going to be suspended for 4 games, and he's never finished a full season before. So, expect a great deal of regression. Expect an injury. It's a good chance. He's already hurt in preseason, so it's not looking good. Doesn't sound like it's a huge injury so far, but it's just not the good signs we know. My 4th guy I got is old Jeremy Maclin. 2015, he was a guy I had in some leagues, and I hated him last year. He was extremely frustrating. I don't know why people are even fucking hot on him. I don't see how they don't see why he salvaged his season last year. Last year he had 87 catches for 1,100 yards and 8 TDs. It sounds pretty nice. It really does. But he only had 1 touchdown in the first 6 weeks of 2015. The only reason why he started to fucking come on was because Jamal Charles got hurt. Bottom line, Jamal Charles is that offense, and he's recovered from his injury. He's still on the PUP list, but he's going to be playing. It doesn't matter. It's going to go back to the way that they used to play football when Jamal Charles was healthy. And Jeremy Maclin will get barely a touchdown, maybe 1 every 3 games, and probably somewhere around 60 yards a game, maybe 4 or 5 catches if he's fucking lucky. It's terrible. You're going to hate him. And you're going to spend a 5th-round draft pick on him probably, maybe even earlier. Don't fucking do that. Terrible idea. All right, my last guy, and he's starting to drop in the draft, so I think people are starting to realize this too. But old Dion Lewis, 2015, had a great little run there at the beginning of the season. A lot of people picked him up early off the waiver wire, and it was fucking awesome for him for a few games, but then he got hurt. This is another asshole who can't finish the season. I mean, it's a fucking horrific game, the NFL. Most human beings could not get through a season. But this is fantasy football, and we get emotional about these things, so fuck them. But, yeah, Dion Lewis did about 250 rushing yards, 2 TDs, another almost 40 catches for 400 yards, and another 2 TDs in the short time he was on the field. But then he got hurt. Some of the issues I see is you have James White behind him. He's healthy. He's been in the system for a couple years now. LeGarrette Blount got re-signed. Dion Lewis is still on the PUP. And Tom Brady's fucking suspended. I mean, it's what it is. He's going in the 5th round. I was high on him towards in the earlier part of the preseason, but as I saw that he hasn't fully recovered from the injury, or he's still not playing football, that's a fact. It just worries me, and so I'm off Dion Lewis. Don't draft him. He's going in the 5th round. He deserves to probably go in the 7th or 8th, and there's a good chance he's not going to make it through the whole season because he's never done it before in his life. So those are my top 5 busts. I think it'd be a good idea if you listen to me. Later.